quick PSA to everybody. I've made my resolution for this month of September, my birthday month. I turned 21 in 16 days. And I quite value September because, it's the month I was born. One thing I don't like about September, or about mannerism that people do in September, is they start putting up their Halloween decorations. Because it's giving the vibe of, fuck this month, I want to move on to the next one. And I think that's really disrespectful. So I've decided to fight back for once. The first house that I see with Halloween decorations up this month, I am going to get an egg and I'm just going to chuck it at the house. So if you are listening to this and you happen to know where I live and the vicinity, and you know that I might be in the area, wait till October. With full confidence, I can tell you it is not that hard. So, yeah. On with the episode, I guess. Welcome back to Nick's podcast. Yeah, it's a decent little morning here in the sound studio at Almerson's Library in voluptuous Boise State campus. I am still a fraud, and this is technically episode 2 of the new era. But really, it's episode 9. Yeah, it's we're in a we're in a decent little place now, aren't we? Yeah, this is gonna be the first episode where I actually make a bit of content for once instead of just rambling. Although I guess I am rambling now. I did bring topics this time. I'm hoping this is not too long of an episode, but I do have a lot of stuff to get through. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my headset here. It's not working, I guess. I don't know. I can't hear myself in the headset, which I find really annoying because it feels like I'm not talking. But I think it's good. I think we're doing good here. I'm just gonna full trust. I'm not going to interject once in the rest of this recording, which could be a mistake, but hopefully it's not. So, man, where were we? What was the last thing that happened? I guess the last episode. But I mean, I don't know. We're here. We're ready. The first episode on the new channel actually got decent views. I don't know how many of those are bots or people who are just oh, what's this? But it's looking not too bad. Meanwhile, I don't know. I feel like this episode might bomb. Those early numbers are gonna evaporate, but hopefully they don't. Yeah, here we are. New episode, new stuff. Yeah, it's been a nice morning. It's been a nice little morning. It's Tuesday. Usually I record this on Monday, but Labor Day, Yeah. But there's really no leeway. There's really no good transitional thing to say for my first topic of the podcast. It's something that I was interested in talking about. Basically, when I was in elementary school, which was... I was in elementary school about 10 years ago at this point, more than 10 years ago, definitely. But during my time in elementary school, they did a thing where the kiddos could bust out some tablets and do tablet stuff. And then towards heading into middle school, we started using Chromebooks. and we would use Chromebooks to like submit stuff online or work stuff online, things like that. And that was for the most part how we like did essays and which is kind of crazy because like before that, people really just did essays like handwritten, or probably on like typewriters more likely. Although computers have existed like for a good while, but in like the 70s, they probably didn't like have that. I don't think so. It's a bit wild. And that was heading into high school. We also used Chromebooks, and eventually, when COVID happened, we were just given the Chromebooks. We didn't own the Chromebooks, but we were like leased Chromebooks, given Chromebooks from the school so we could like work at home, and like stuff like that. So like technology just kind of slowly like really enveloped. Because when we were using tablets, we were kind of using them like for funsies as opposed to like to work on stuff. So it's definitely gotten more and more like in depth with how we like do things, um, which I find to be like kind of interesting. Um, but that brings us to a couple of weeks ago when Valley View High School, or was it Valley View Middle School? One of the Valley View schools announced that they would have no technology days where you didn't bring your Chromebooks. And I think it's kind of education has kind of really started focusing on like technology. I have a laptop that I use to not work on homework. I use it to edit stuff, but when I was attending classes, I would use it to actually work on shit, as well as my PC setup and other things to like get my homework done and type up my essays and all that jazz. And I think it's kind of, oh my god, there's a kid in a little wagon. That is adorable. Sorry, ADHD. We get to it gets to a point where I think, especially in the youth, like how much should you really be using computers? Because there's a certain point, like you don't really necessarily need computers for everything you work on. You can do things like handwritten, um, and I think it's kind of intriguing to get to like a point in time where you start to like get away from like more physical, more handwritten things. And I think Valley View's decision to kind of backtrack that, take it back and kind of get back into using um, not technology, I think it's a good idea. I think as somebody who was a student, if it was me that was being limited, I would tell them to go fuck themselves. But I think it's really because ultimately, like, I think I can say that as an adult where I just want like that free will. But in school, like, I think it's good for them. I wouldn't want it. I mean, not. I definitely wouldn't want it in college. Nobody would want it in college. But if I was in high school, I probably wouldn't fuck with that. But I think if it was still in a, I think being an adult, I can look at that and say that's a good idea. And that's really interesting because a while back, I think the previous year, and I'm only bringing up Valley View because like it's just like the good leeway, because it's really really interesting seeing like, oh, they're like not using like Chromebooks anymore. They're trying to be less reliant on technology. Uh, and I don't know. I thought they'd make a good discussion piece because there's a lot of like things with like technology and education, because like fucking, what was it called, Easy Math? It was like an app where you like took photos of equations and it solved it for you. That existed when I was in high school. Like other like little like cheats and stuff existed like back then, but like Chat G, is it BT or PT? AI, fucking open AI, didn't exist. It was not like a thing yet, at least not like majorly at the time. And it wasn't really until I got into college that like AI use to like write essays and do stuff like really started to become like prominent. And so it's been really interesting to see the how it's affected because I never really got to see how that like impacted school. You know, I think it's kind of like in fucking calling things cringe. I mean, we did okay. I this is less related to the subject, but they created a slur, right? Clanker, or as I like to say, clanka. But they created a term, offensive term for AI and like computers, technology, robots, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? What is this? But I think to to have AI be in schools and like impacting the education is a bit it's a bit weird. I think if you plan on doing nothing with your life, it's fine to use AI. Just because like it's not like you're going anywhere after this. But I think using it to like succeed is kind of like fucked up because I believe there's a news story. I have no sources here. There was a news story where a lawyer used like AI to write his like opening statement or something, and like they just straight up like took away his like law license. Like he can't work as a lawyer anymore, which is kind of crazy. Not that he's not working anymore. I mean, I think it's a bit that he's not working anymore because it's like maybe cut him some slack, but it's crazy because like you're a fucking like professional and you're using a computer to defend a literal like people from like going to prison. And I think some people, most people, don't want to go to fucking prison. So it's I don't know. It really is something like using I'm old. I like to think I'm old fashioned. I mean, I definitely use my phone a lot. I play a lot of Brawl Stars. I fucking stream. You know, I use a computer to like edit stuff. I don't fucking draw or like. I do like to go outside. I quite like a nice good walk outside, but I don't like. I don't tend to be like a non tech guy, but I think when it comes to AI use, that's just something that's so foreign to me. Like I would rather use my computer to type an essay, you know, to actually like work on it. There's something kind of satisfying about it, having to like. I mean, there's some essays. Like I think I did an essay on Brave New World. That book was fucking boring, and the essay that I wrote ended up actually causing me to fail because it was so bad, and the teacher refused to elaborate or like give me any like sort of plea. But I worked really hard on it, so it's kind of sad that happened to me. But that's completely unrelated to the subject at hand. I would have used AI to write that essay, but most essays I wouldn't. And I think we'll get to a point where the youth, which is weird because I'm technically still the youth, sort of. I'm only 20. Um, I think it's weird to be at a point where we have to be vigilant about this. The people who were bad at school usually paid people to do their homework for them, got the answers like from online, or just didn't do their work and failed, and took fucking summer school where they like pamper you to succeed because they don't want you to get held back. It's weird to get to a point where that's not what they do. They use AI. I think the anti-phone policy also makes sense. Just because like I think more people should just drop out. You know, weird enough. My friend Izzy, I believe, dropped out of high school, which might be fake news. I'm pretty sure he did. I don't know if he ever got his GED, but like, you know, I think people dropping out of like school and like being done with shit and like wanting to leave. I feel like it should just happen more. Just be a degenerate. Don't fake your way through it, you know? Although I guess at the same time, like a college diploma doesn't mean fuck all, but I think that's more so a problem with the job system than anything else. I feel like I've gone nowhere with this other than this is a weird thing that's going on, but having a host would definitely help. But you know, who cares? There's really no way to transition. I feel like this has been a bit of a mopey topic. So let's move on to something a bit more cheery, sort of. So I, for the first time since I think May or April? Since about like early May, late April of last year, for the first time since then, I have gone to watch a play. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to bring this up one last time. I think from here on out, I'm not going to bring this up again until like 2 episodes down the line. Just as a refresher, in case people decide to start watching the podcast then, I just want like those reminders. But I wanted to put the reminder here now. For those of you who don't know, I do content creation. I'm a streamer, and I'm mostly don't do really YouTube. I just upload my VODs, and now I do this podcast. But the thing, the big like flagship thing, at least what I think might be my flagship thing at this point, is I do a award show for all the theater productions that I have seen in the year. It's called the Nick's Choice Awards, or the NCAs for short, and we're heading into the 3rd edition, which is kind of crazy because it's been so long. But you know, I tend to take the shows that I watch not like too seriously, but I like really think about like what the takeaways are, what like there was, and so I think with Significant Other, it was kind of that, but at the same time, it was kind of just like I just want to watch a show, because heading into this show, I was I looked at it, I read the description, I looked at the like posters, and I was like, yeah, this looks like a fun little like romantic comedy, and it's really just as simple as like I don't have to think about too much about what this performance is going to be. Like, I don't think about the glaze, don't think about like imagery, just like watch it, maybe read the synopsis, or not, don't read the synopsis too much, read like the first little bit, think about it, and head into it. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's not overthink it. It's like a fun little like romantic comedy, you know, maybe there's a bit of drama, a little bit. But yeah, you just like enjoy this romantic comedy and go in and watch the show, you know. Have fun. This probably won't be a big impactful show. Oh boy, was I fucking wrong. Romantic comedy is a well, it's an interesting term, because it was a bit romantic. There was definitely romance. People fell in love. It was definitely also a comedy. There were a lot of really funny moments, you know. But fuck me, this show was a difficult watch. Typically when you say difficult watch, that's a bad thing, like, because it's bad. It was a like difficult watch, like it was bad. No, this is a difficult watch because it was like, damn, this is brutal stuff. This is a brutal character study. Well, let's talk about the story. Basically, Significant Other follows this gay guy. His name is Jordan. Please don't click out of the video because I said a gay guy. It follows this gay man. I think he's also Jewish, but I don't know. Hey, shouts out Jewish people. Don't be anti-Semitic, but don't look at people supporting Palestine as a... This is politics. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. It's definitely not politics. Being a human isn't politics. Supporting Palestine isn't anti-Semitic, bro. Chill the fuck out. You're just victimizing yourself and like making yourself look bad. So when people are actually anti-Semitic, you're less likely to be defended by others because of how you act, which nobody wants that. So back to the show, because ultimately, a dude being religious doesn't doesn't have too much impact. He does say the F slur a lot, which makes me question, is this guy gay? Is the actor gay? I don't know if he is. You shouldn't assume. Definitely, I think the way he says the F slur makes him sound gay, because, like, I think the more you say, I think if you say the F slur a lot, you're either homophobic or gay. There's no in between. Um, but so he's gay, and he has three best friends, and believe it or not, they're all women. Which is kind of the opposite of what Jesus was, but he fucking he falls off a fucking cliff, dude. The guy doesn't actually fall off a cliff, but basically one of his friends gets married, Kiki, and then he falls in love with this dude, and he's kind of a hopeless romantic. And at Kiki's wedding, Kiki sets up his other friend, Jasmine, I think, or Brianna, something like that. I can't remember her name. But she sets her friend up with some guy, and they end up hitting it off, and then they get married. So his two friends are married, and he has his last friend, whose name I have also forgotten because I have dog shit memory. But as his friends get married, he comes to this kind of realization that, like, I am alone, and everybody, quite literally the Laufey song, everybody's falling in love, and I'm falling behind. He's kind of falling behind. He's not in a space where he is, where he thinks he will be able to get married and find, like, love, which is not necessarily relatable. From me, because he's gay, but it is relatable in the damn, because for those of you who don't know, I'm just gonna be open about it. Well, first off, I'm straight. I'm like 99% sure I'm straight. That 99% comes from certainty. That 1% that I might not be comes from the very simple fact that I have never been in a relationship. Not something I think I want to do, just because it's not something I think about. Would it be nice? Would it be nice to, like, date a woman? Yeah, but it just feels, because I didn't then. I just it feels very, like, out there, to the point where I say date a woman and it sounds like an alien sentence. So I can relate to that, and his final friend, who's his, like, bestie, is, like, true bestie, and they basically have this agreement that if they're, like, they kind of set up the sort of classic, like, if we're still together, or no, if we're still, like, both single by this time, we should just get married and, like, start a family. And eventually she meets this guy, and it really starts to get to a point where he's going to be alone. All of his friends are leaving him and finding their lives, and they're starting to drift apart, and he's starting to become more of the, like, sad, like, single friend. There's this scene where he just has it's an enormous monologue, and an even more enormous, like, crash out that he has, like, with this best friend at her bridal shower? No, bridal party. I don't know which one's which. There's, like, a engagement party, there's a bridal shower, the bachelorette party. It's a lot, but he ends up not making the cut. Not making the cut. He ends up, like, feeling like that his friends are gonna leave him, and he's upset about it. And he's just trying to find his like love life, but it just never seems to, like, come. And it's very very emotional, I would say, and it's somewhat relatable, like I just said. But it ended up being a very like surprising show, because I wasn't really expecting much from it because I didn't do any research on it. But it was also really funny at the same time. Like, there were the comedic moments along with the, like, more emotional, like heartbeat moments. So I think on an execution level, the show was really good, and on a story level, like the story itself, I found really like interesting and like uh, I don't want to say inspiring. I wasn't inspired by it. This isn't gonna get me to like put myself out there. I mean, maybe it will, but I don't think it will. But it was very like I left thinking quite a bit about this show. It's a show that makes you think about like these characters and like where they are in life. I think a big oh god, I was leaning away from the mic. I hope I don't come off as too quiet there. But I think a big reason why the show was so good was because of the lead performance. I recognized his name because he actually is a student here at Boise State in the theater department. His name is Zeke. Which is really funny in my opinion, because like I don't think I've ever met somebody named Ezekiel. I'm assuming Zeke is short for Ezekiel. I've never met a single Ezekiel, like ever. And to be fair, I've never really like met this guy like personally. I've spoken with him a few times, but my headphones fell off. I'm sorry if that's noisy. But he. He seems like a nice guy. And also his name's Zeke. Zeke Griffin, which is a sick-ass name in my opinion. He delivered an absolutely incredible performance. I do want to say, so I mentioned the NCAs earlier. I think in the first iteration of the Next Choice Awards, it was very much dominated by women. Like the women performances were really good. Not that the men performances were bad, but I think the emphasis was that the women's performances were so good. And they were like the notable like thing to hand out. And then I think in terms of like individual slash like group performances, in their performance like manner, like they were the big ones. And then I think with the second year, it was very much, it wasn't really about gender, but it was more so about the supporting performances, because the supporting performances were now really good on both sides, to the point where like you could have made like the amount of people that didn't make the cut, not necessarily amount, but like the people that didn't make the cut was like very good performances weren't able to make the cut because it was so like competitive. In terms of both supporting actor, and the non-binary performers, like they all did very good. I think this year is going to be an emphasis on the male lead performances because it has been quite a year for all the leading men in these shows that I've watched. I mean, we'll see how it like continues to evolve, but as of now, like it's been very good. What was the show? A Case for the Existence of God. There's only two characters. They're both men, and both their performances were really good. The next show that I watched after that, which I think was Little Prince, also had a really strong like male lead performance. And then also the probably my favorite. I want to say my number one show. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but I would say like my number one like show was like my favorite like story so far was this show called The Life You Gave Me, and that was very good. The lead performance was very good, so it's been a very good like year so far for the male lead performances, and Zeke Griffin is the latest addition to that list because god damn he killed it, genuinely. Zeke, Ezekiel. He's probably not watching this or listening to this because he doesn't know. You don't really know each other. But if you do happen to be listening, I'd love to have you on the pod, bro. You seem like a chill guy. I think you'd be a cool guest. But if you're listening to this, I'm glazing you too much, so stop. He was very, very good in terms of like channeling the kind of skittishness. I feel like his performance more so aligns with what what I wish my performances could be of like kind of nervous guy. I feel like I can't do that as well, at least not anymore. But like the skittish, very nervous, very like you feel the emotion, and the way he's able to deliver it with such like intensity while also being like very witty. He's very witty while also being like the beating heart of the show. Um, and it's a lot to balance. Typically, I don't. It's not usual. At least I don't think it's usual that the lead performer is also like among the funniest. Very rarely do I see like a performance where the like de facto main character is the funniest because they're busy with like the plot. And this is one of those shows, which isn't saying that nobody else was funny, but I think this is one of those shows where that lead performance was also probably the funniest. Yeah, this episode's going to actually go quite long. I really hope it's not an hour, but I think this shows was quite the statement. I think number one, the story is good. I think the story is good, which the story doesn't change. It's the show that you do, but the subsequent lead performance was incredible, and I think I can not correlate. I can relate in a way of like being single, and I question if there will ever be a time where I am with someone. I'm content with that never coming, to be honest, but at the same time, I kind of yearn for it. So I think watching this show made me think about that. And yeah, I also did want to say that the supporting performances were also quite good. I don't know if I brought them up, but I don't know any of the actors, which one of them I did know. He was he was actually previously nominated for one of those Nick's Choice Awards. Ben Suzlansik, which I might have butchered, but he was very good. He was very comically like homosexual. The actual actor is gay, as it turns out, but he was quite good in like how do you say queening it up? He queened it up quite well. And then also really a lot of the other performances. The Kiki, who's the only friend lady that I remember, she's very like girly, like very like obnoxious but like endearing at the same time. And then I think the other guy, I think his name is Jonah. I want to say the actor that played. There's a brief love interest. He plays a lot of different characters, but he plays like the act one love interest of Jordan. His name's Will. The character's name, the actor's name, I'm pretty sure is Jonah. It's Jonah something. I'm pretty sure him and the actress that played Kiki were just straight up married. Which was good. It's cool. It's cool to doing like a show with your significant other, and the show's called Significant Other. So whoa, but yeah, his performance was really good. And then I think the two friends' performances. Oh my God, there's another former NCA nominee. There's actually a decent amount of NCA nominees. It's cool seeing all the people that I like nominate for stuff like then be in shows because I don't know, it gives them aura. At least for me, it gives them aura. If it sounds like I'm farting, that's actually the spiral cord on the headphone, like falling off the desk. But yeah, it was. Yes, I don't remember the actress name. It's Mary something. She was also in the show. She plays the grandma, and she had a very limited like appearance in the show, but she was also quite good. Quite good. This is a very good show. This was like blindingly like a good show. And yeah, it makes me excited for the rest of the year in terms of shows, because I think I was very under the impression that it would kind of be like like wrap the after like the first half of the year, just because I think not every show, but I think there were like very good shows, and I didn't think it would be possible to like get a show that was better than those other shows. But I think Significant Other is definitely a contender. So it does make me excited to see how the rest of the year turns out. I did want to make a quick little announcement before we get going. I'll probably like cut this out and put it somewhere else, but I'm starting a book club. Sort of. I mean, I am. It's not really a book club. I call it a book club because I don't know what to call it if it's not going to be called a book club. You see, I don't really necessarily want to read more, but I kind of want to read more. Specifically, I want to read more plays. And a while back, I had this idea to start a book club where I just read plays. And it ended up not coming to fruition, and so I wanted to give it another chance and actually give it a shot and try it. And if it's ass, I won't do it ever again, but if it's good, maybe it'll be a thing that I do. The beginning book will be Deep Blue. For those of you interested in maybe reading the book, I will have a link to a PDF of the script on my Discord, and for those of you interested in not reading but still interested in maybe the story, I'm going to be doing a little like narration of the script, which might be illegal, but I don't care. Which I'll also be uploading. I'm going to upload it unlisted onto my Discord as well, but it'll be on YouTube, and hopefully it won't be bad. But yeah, so if you're interested, check it out. And if you're not, that's fine. I'll be doing like a little like video review, like meeting thing about it. And yeah, I'm hoping it'll be fun. But we'll see. It's an experiment. But if you're interested, check out my Discord, Battery Cord. There's a link to it somewhere. I think it's on my Twitch. If you find that, you can access it. Good and new. And yeah, I don't know if the talk about being lonely and like kind of drifting away from your friends was like upsetting, but it definitely is like a low thing, especially considering that we were talking about before that we were talking about like kids becoming like kind of stupider, and like kind of normalizing a like if not real racial slur, but I think we need to let me mold here because I'm a bit upset. What is making me upset? It's pretty simple. What's making me upset? Professional wrestling. Yeah, that's right. Professional wrestling is making me upset. Why is professional wrestling making me upset? For those of you who don't know, I'm quite the avid fan of the big tussles, of the colossal tussles. And a while back, I talked about AEW, how they're going through their woes, and how WWE was doing really well. That would have been, I'm pretty sure, back in early 2024. Which really doesn't feel like that long ago because we're only in still 2025, but it feels like eons ago. And goddamn, oh boy, how the tables have turned. Well, before I talk about WWE, I do want to talk about AEW because AEW, and I don't watch AEW, so it's really hard to like make opinions when I don't really watch the show, but I do like get tidbits. AEW was not in a good spot. They were CM Punk had been fired from the company. He then went to WWE, and he's been drawing WWE quite a bit of money. And Triple H his tenure as the like creative head of WWE. I think I backed away from the mic a bit too much there, but he he definitely it was a breath of fresh air. The Vince McMahon booking was not good, and I really thought that we were we were improving. And to be fair, for what it's worth, I wasn't necessarily wrong, but at the same time, things have definitely gotten worse. At the same time, for AEW, things have gotten better. Before things got better for AEW, they definitely got a lot worse. I believe I mentioned that Isaiah Swerve Scott, who, just a quick rundown to what his WWE career was. His name is actually Swerve Strickland now, but I still think of him as Isaiah Swerve Scott. He went to WWE. He was kind of just there, and then he turned heel, and he started to really become he started to evolve into something bigger than what he already was. And he started a faction. And Vince McMahon thought the biggest guy in the faction was the leader. And this guy wasn't a very good wrestler. He was a bit charismatic for what it's worth. But the big thing that happened, which I think is actually pretty unfair to the guy, his name was, I don't remember his name. Top Dollar, I think. I make fun of him and call him Top Jabba, but Top Dollar... That's his name, or was his name. He's AJ Francis now, but he was feuding with Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, Canadian, of Indian descent. He basically did a promo where he did a diss track, and it was terrible. It was awful, and it's also because rap is a black invention of music. Is a bit cultural appropriation. So he made a little diss track thing that was more of a Twitter post than anything, but it was like a poem. And he brought up Curry, and he got in such hot water. And he said, "Why am I getting hate for this when he did this very proudly black thing?" And it was a whole argument. And Top Dollar, it was decided that they would release him, and because they saw him as the leader of the stable. They didn't see any point in keeping the rest of the members. So Isaiah Swerve Scott was released, and he then went to AEW and we got to see the fulfillment of what he could have been and what he was starting to become, which culminated in him becoming AEW champion. Now, at the time, stuff was not going well for WWE. They were not doing, or AEW, because there was just a lot of controversy. People really were starting to get stale in the product. It wasn't good. And it got worse. Isaiah Swerve Scott ended up losing the title, which wasn't bad. He ended up losing to Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan in WWE. After his release, or not after his release, after winning the title, he was after I lose this title, I'm retiring. And it was decided that it would be Jon Moxley to retire him. And it was not a good idea. Not him retiring, but I think making Jon Moxley be the guy to retire him was a mistake, because you put the title on a guy who was already champion and was kind of boring, if I'm being completely honest. And then his reign was just dog shit. It was bad. And it sucked because there was a channel, Wrestle Talk, and they just continuously glazed the story, and it made me feel damn, she's not gonna fuck you, bro. Chill out. And so it made me quite disheartening to see it turn so sour. But it started to get better. They started to integrate their newer stars and do something more with their stories, and they started to lean away. And finally, they took the title off of Jon Moxley, and they put it on Hangman Adam Page, which was a very good option, because he was a very good wrestler. And I think his last reign, going back to the CM Punk thing, it was ended by CM Punk. And in the build-up to that feud, he was very unprofessional with CM Punk. And so it ended up, and I still fucked with him, but I thought he was cringe for that. And so seeing him like redeem himself was really, really dope. And so that's what's been going on with AEW. That's a very like simplified, dumbed down version, but they have started to like improve and find their footing. MJF was in the Happy Gilmore 2, fun fact. MJF is a wrestler, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. That is what his name is. That's what he's billed as in the movie that he was in, which was Happy Gilmore 2. He's one of Happy's sons, the big one. And yeah, so they did. I think they were doing good work. They were doing good work then and there, or they are doing good work. Conversely, across the pond, WWE's ass. Yeah. Where do we begin? I don't think I want to... Actually, no. I know where I want to start. So, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know this, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is like a horrible person. Like, when he dies, he will go to hell. And he will see Hulk Hogan there, most likely. And he got removed from WWE. He like stepped down. Slash got like booted. Slash got canceled. Like he is like facing criminal charges. He's been charged, accused of like domestic abuse and like a bunch of gross shit by this woman named Janelle Grant. And one of the like corroborators, witnesses, like an accomplice. One of those accomplices is none other than former WWE champion, former star of WWE, one of the longest reigning champions of the modern era, and former UFC fighter Brock Lesnar. And so, in the wake of stuff and like Brock Lesnar being involved with it, he was removed from the company. And we'll start there. That doesn't lead to anything. That'll come back later. Brock Lesnar is never gonna come back. He is done with wrestling. He is like for sure canceled. He will not be back. But let's start with the main thing I wanted to talk about. The thing that WWE I think the thing that's really like cemented WWE's like kind of like rough state right now. Since like their little like honeymoon period with Triple H coming in, and Cody becoming champion, it's quite simple. That thing that has showed what WWE has kind of like come to since is John Cena. For those of you who don't know, John Cena is actually retiring at the end of the year. He's on his retirement tour. He's only got 8 dates left, and it has not really gone well. At least I don't think it's gone well. Let's start from the beginning. We start in January. John Cena competes in the Royal Rumble, in what was one of the most stacked Royal Rumbles. It ended up being won by Jey Uso, who last eliminated John Cena to win, which was a lot of people called it underwhelming. I quite fucked with it because it was like a very unexpected, like cool winner. I was happy for him, like winning like a world title was like cool. At the end of the day, it's a story. It's a written program, you know. But like it is cool to see that happen, you know. It's like in The Bear, Marcus wins like a best like new like cook award, and it's like really nice. But it's at the end of the day, it's a story. Marcus didn't act. Lionel Boyce did not win a fucking cooking award. No, a written character in a TV program did, and a written character in TV programs succeeded in WWE. But that's besides the point. John Cena then was like, well, I would like to main event WrestleMania. I would like to win my 17th world title, break the record. And pretty much, he then decided to compete at the Elimination Chamber. And at the same time, current WWE champion Cody Rhodes, who was already WWE champion for almost a year at that point, was having a weird program with The Rock, where The Rock was basically like, I want your soul, become my champion. Like, he wants him to sell out. And John Cena then wins the Elimination Chamber. And Cody Rhodes says, "Fuck you, Rock." He says, and I quote, "Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself." And that's cementing his like time as in not being a bad guy. And so, what does WWE do after that? They turn John Cena heel, and that I could talk about that for like a while. We're already at 50 minutes. This is going to be quite a lengthy episode. I didn't expect myself to take this long, but I did. I really got to figure out how to like podcast less. I mean, talking about it's definitely not going to help, but back to the subject that matter. John Cena turned heel, which is debatable on whether he should have. I think he shouldn't have. While it would have been cool, I think the mentality is like you can do something. Like doing the thing's a good idea. But the thing is that you have to think about these in two letters that are very important to making a plan or like a story or making any sort of decision. Then what? You heard John Cena heel, what now? You know? And I think it got to a point where it was like, what the fuck do we do here? And for what it's worth, John Cena was very into the idea of a heel turn. And it was cool that they turned him heel. But I think what came after was just like, it was just bad. I hate to say it. It was just, I can't even say that it wasn't for me. I can just say it was objectively bad. They had John Cena hit the classic, "You people," he said that you guys were toxic. Although at this point, John Cena had been like now like a beloved, like cherished, like wrestler. As somebody who didn't like John Cena, I now fucking love John Cena. He's the GOAT. He's incredible. He truly is like a special aspect to wrestling. And to be fair, that was only in like recent years. Like I think from 2016, he really started to become respected by like everyone. Not to say that there weren't people. There were a lot of people who liked him, mostly kids, but a lot of adults, like the fucking like edgy teen guys, they did not like John Cena. But now, as John Cena has become more of a veteran, they've grown to respect him, and it's gotten to it got to a point where John Cena is popular. He is going to more often than not be liked. And now that he's heel, you're supposed to boo him, and WWE fans love doing the opposite of what they're told. So John Cena was going to be very popular in that match. And that's not to say that Cody wasn't popular, but people were behind John Cena. And so despite the fact that he was heel, he remained like beloved, despite the fact that he was cussing out crowds. He got mad at like a kid. And then he became champion. At WrestleMania, he beat Cody. He cheated, with Travis Scott helping him. Fucking Christ. And his subsequent title reign was not good. Well, I don't want to say it was bad. He had a match with Randy Orton, and people were like, cool, he's going against Randy Orton, like last time ever, like the greatest hits type beat. Randy Orton, one of his biggest rivals. It was an okay match. They then had him go against R-Truth, which was actually really fucking cool because it's like a meme that R-Truth's childhood hero is John Cena. R-Truth, a.k.a. Ron Killings, if you didn't know, is actually just older than John Cena. Like, he's been wrestling, like, I think before John Cena was wrestling. So it's kind of a joke that he's, like, his childhood hero. But they kind of had them feud. It was actually, like, quite nice to, like, do that. And then I think after that, they just go into a feud with Cody Rhodes. So John Cena at this point defended the title against Randy Orton and R-Truth. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, actually, no. That is not it. He defended the title against CM Punk, which you would think is really good. There's just one problem. They did it in Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to comment any more on that. There's definitely like a bit of stuff you can go into. I want to finish this episode up pretty soon, so we're just going to move on from that. He then goes against Cody Rhodes, And it's at this point where it comes out that seemingly Travis Scott had a falling out with WWE. Oh my God, why did they involve Travis Scott in this? They have a thing with Travis Scott. They boot him from WWE. He's not going to be involved, and seemingly The Rock is not going to be involved in the story, which is funny because The Rock was never involved in the story. He wasn't. I mean, he was. He was there for the heel turn, but he never showed up again. They never fucking mentioned him. They never fucking mentioned him after. They had The Rock turn heel with John Cena with Travis Scott, and both of them didn't come back. Oh, okay, no, to be fair, Travis Scott did show up at he did show up at WrestleMania, but Travis Scott wasn't done with the company. The Rock was done with the storyline, and John Cena went, fuck it, I'm just gonna turn face. And so he turned face. He said, yeah, that was bad. Let's do what we're doing now. Oh my God. And then he feuds with Cody, just face Cena, face Cody. They have like a fun ass match at SummerSlam, and Cody wins the title back. Most people, I do want to comment on this real quick. Most people didn't like John Cena's heel turn because of kind of the nature where it was just like, I'm face now, and people thought that was lazy. But I don't think there was really any better way to do it if you were going to backtrack. Unless you were going to commit to the heel turn and do it properly, which they didn't. I think the best way to backtrack, I think the most John Cena way, especially old man John Cena, was to go, none of this, and then move on to doing the next thing. I think that was very, like, not intelligent, but very, like, admirable to do for Cena. And so it looked like they were trying to, like, fix things up. And then Brock Lesnar came back. They brought back Brock Lesnar. And for what it's worth, I know why they brought back Brock Lesnar. 2 reasons. Number 1, he draws money. People aren't educated. They're not going to know that he's done some fucking bad shit. They don't care. They don't. And also, he is one of John Cena's greatest rivals. Do I care for them bringing back Brock Lesnar? Absolutely not. Do I wish they didn't? Yeah. Am I going to stop watching WWE because of this? No. Straight up, just no. But I do think this was a poor decision. And I understand a lot of people's outrage. Because I didn't want to see Brock Lesnar come back. And it's disappointing to see that has happened. Because, like, it is that's where we are right now. Because I think, like, a year ago, WWE was in a very nice spot. They were in a very good spot for themselves. And it's just kind of gone to shit since then. Which is, frankly, disappointing. We are almost at the hour mark. I have another segment, which is unfortunate. I'm going to do the segment because I made my thumbnail in advance. But yeah, it's not good. I don't know why I did that. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate to be here. So you're probably wondering. So Brock Lesnar and John Cena went against each other. No. John Cena went against Logan Paul. I don't know if you're upset, but you feel my emotion. I hate that. I don't give a shit if Jake Paul's like John Cena. It's an honor. Why the fuck are you having John Cena wrestle Jake Paul? Oh, sorry. I got them mixed up. Because I don't give a shit about any of them. Logan Paul. He went against Logan Paul in Paris, which would have been cool to have him go against fucking anyone else. But who cares? It's fine, Nick. It's fine. John Cena has 8 dates left before he retires. One of those dates, he will be his last, and one of those dates will seemingly be Brock Lesnar. So realistically speaking, he has 2 matches left. One against Brock Lesnar, and then one more. And one of those matches is his last match. And that will be the last we ever see of John Cena in wrestling. Which is disappointing. It's disappointing to me. I think it's disappointing. And you know what? You probably don't care. And that's fine. But I wanted to vent about that. And I feel better now. Actually, no, I feel worse. It's sad. You know, fun fact. This is actually a good way to leeway into our next segment. It's going to be kind of a whiplash, but I wanted to go to San Diego because one of John Cena's last dates is going to be Survivor Series. His last Big Four pay-per-view, his last Survivor Series, and basically the last month before he does his final dance. Survivor Series will be in Petco Park in San Diego. And I would have the time. And I could, in theory, have the money to go. But I don't know if I want to. I don't know if that's worth it. But to be fair, it is also partially exasperated. I don't know if that's the right word. Another big reason of why I probably won't do that is because I just think there's something that's more worth wanting to go. And that would be... God, okay, let's end this on a positive note. The thing that I think is more worth it than watching watching John Cena in person for the last time before he retires will be going to watch Laufey perform. Because I don't know if you guys know, 2 weeks ago she released her 3rd album, A Matter of Time, and I haven't had the time to talk about it, it was a while for me to listen to it. But now that I have listened to it, oh my God, it is divine. It is so good. It's mwah, mwah, mwah. It is delightful. I don't have the time to go through every song, but I do want to give like a big. I think it might be her best album. It might be one of my favorite albums ever. It might establish Laufey as a top 3 artist for me, for my like artists. It'd be her, Stradivarius, and I don't know who the 3rd one is, but it's definitely those 2, which is funny because they're both Nordic. Yeah, my favorite song, I'll give you my top 5 from the album. My 5th favorite song, I think, is Castle in Hollywood. Actually, no, it's not Castle in Hollywood. Castle in Hollywood is probably higher up on the list. I think it might be Lover Girl, which is like her most like popular song in the album. But it's very good. It's very catchy, very very tuney. I love it. It's a very Laufey song. And then it really gets tough after that. I would say after that, I like Cuckoo Ballet. That's my 4th. It's this big, it's this beautiful, like, it's an interlude, which I don't actually know what an interlude is, but she has another interlude from her last album called Nocturne, and it's very good. It's real good. But interlude integrates like parts of all of her songs, and so does Cuckoo Ballet, and I think it's very delightful. A lot of people say that Laufey could probably like do the like score for like an old-timey Disney movie, and I see the vision. I'd really like to see her do like a score for something one day. Sorry, I think that'd be cool. So that's my 4. Number 3, I think, is that's Castle in Hollywood. I don't know why. I like it so much. There's just something about it. I can't quite put my finger on why I like it so much because it's a kind of a random one to like so much. But I would say that's my 3. Number 4 is Too Little, Too Late. Oh my God, it is a brutal listen. It's about like regretting regretting not it's like the one that got away. It was the one who got away. She was too little, too late. I should probably say what the other ones are. Lover Girls, kind of how much of a burden it is to be in love. But it's like an upbeat kind of how much of a burden it is to be in love. Cuckoo Ballet is just like an orchestration, There's not much really to it. But Castle in Hollywood is kind of it's about your friends, your old friends, and how you have drifted apart. And I already said what Too Little Too Late is about. It's very good. It ends with the line is I'll toast. I think it's I'll toast outside your wedding date, or outside your wedding day, something like that. And they have a Bewitched play, which is one of Laufey's other songs, and it's also about falling in love. You bewitched me, you put a spell on me. From the first time I saw you, and that plays, and it's so good. It's very good. But I think my number one song of the album was I actually listened to it before it came out, just a little snippet. It's called "Forget Me Not," and it is absolute cinema. It is so incredible. It feels like a storm. It's like a storm of a song. And she sings in Icelandic, so. Yeah, big W. And that is that's my very brief review of A Matter of Time. It's kind of shitty. I'll make a little meme for my Instagram post about this episode. But that is what we got in that was A Matter of Time. And I really want to go to her performance in Salt Lake. It's in a month from now, so I need to figure that out. But yeah, I'd love to go. It would be nice. It would be really cool. It'd be really cool, and it's really my only opportunity, because after that, I'd be traveling by plane to go watch her perform, and I couldn't drive to Salt Lake. It'd be cool. I think I'd drive alone. But that is a story for another time. Maybe I'll do a podcast episode there. But that won't be for a month, so there's going to be plenty of episodes until then. And until then, I would just like to say that this is the end of our episode. Jan, do you have anything to say? Oh, you like Carousel, really? You like Carousel, and you like Seth Rollins. Okay. Well, that is a good opinion. On my end, if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. It helped me out a lot. If I get a lot of subscribers, that'd be dope. It would be nice. It would be so nice. It would be so cool. And if you like the podcast, thanks for watching. But at the same time, if you made it this far, gotta do my actual sign off. If you made it this far, thank you. I'm sorry. You're welcome. And take care. Goodbye. That is all, folks.